ride.
Stake my claim, I'll fight to survive.
What's up, SFL? It's the Midnight Ride coming to you for Week 11 action, and I have to tell you, I'm a little hyped for this week, as you can see from the promo. Let's get started with a big week for everybody around the league, and we're going to look at a couple things that happened last week, which I won again, which is nice. Record's getting closer to 50. It's getting closer. But last week was great. Going into this week is going to be a tough game. As you guys know, this is the last week of the regular season as far as with everybody who played. So now after this week, everyone's played everybody. We'll go back into division play. But before we do, I want to check out the playoff standings and then get you into Week 11 action. All right, let's get into the playoff action. It's the Midnight Playoff Update. As we look at the standings, Queen of Thorns is 8-2. Gabriel's 8-2, spreading the disease 6-4. Those three teams are your 1, 2, and 3, or leading their divisions. Obviously, Deontay's Johnson is at 7-3. We've got a bunch of 5-5 teams that match a school bus, the space between. My Atlanta, my ball sack hurts, and then a bunch of 4-6, 3-7s, and then my man King McGee is down at 2-8. But you know what? It is still anyone's game. We've got a lot of great matchups this week to kind of, alleviate who's going to be where. And I'm really interested in the dudes bracket because these guys are going to really fight hard against each other in the last 3 weeks. So I think that they could dirty each other up. Obviously, for me, I've got it all in front of me. I've got a chance to play Chalupa. I got a chance to play the space between. And Gabriel's, I could make a climb back in. And everybody really does have that opportunity. I mean, Magic School Bus has a chance to win that division. And so it's going to be interesting. But as it stands right now in the playoffs, Queen of Thorns has the best record in the league. They're tied with Gabriel's, but they have the highest points. They are our number 1 seed. They would get the bye. Deontay's Johnson and Magic School Bus, they are 4-5. Spreading Disease, my Atlanta, my ball, Zach Hurts, 3-6. And Gabriel's in the space between would be 2-7. So those are the playoffs as it stands today, but it's going to fluctuate a lot. And the reason it fluctuated is because of last week. If we look at around the league, the Magic School Bus took out Chalupa Batman. Thank you so much, Dylan. That helps me out. I appreciate it. King McGee, I thought was going to pull it out to help me out as well, but no, the space between took that one. Queen of Thorns showed his dominance as he 100-pointed Gabriel's. We had Elderly Gangbang get another loss against my Atlanta, my ball sack hurts. And then, of course, Deontay's Johnson woke up. His team had a huge week, and they destroyed Spreading Disease, who's lost now 2 in a row. So, looking at last week for me, D-Haas, that's right, me and D-Haas played. I am so sorry, D-Haas. Your quarterbacks did not play well, and my receivers did not play well, except for Devontae Smith, but my running backs held me up, and I survived to an 8-point win. So it was a true survival. Even with me feeling comfortable going in that second half, it didn't happen until he threw that huge game, that 40-yard game to Debo that really cinched it up for me because Aku didn't have a game that I was hoping for. So that's going to be interesting for me as we go forward and who I'm going to start in Week 11. Before we get that, we had a couple of different trades. CeeDee Lamb, who was on my team, and I had traded, gets traded again now to Gabriel's for TJ Hawkinson and DeAndre Hopkins. I think Ligaments of Steel is just grasping for straws anywhere. I was offered DeAndre Hopkins in a trade at one point and denied it. Probably kicking myself for it now, but it's a good move. He gets CeeDee Lamb and he gets 2 players because Hawkinson has been playing well. So hey, more power to you. Good trade, Audie. And then this is trade again. The space between and Gabriel's throwing each other some bones a little bit. Tua and Alan Lazard. I don't know why Alan Lazard's even worth Tua. We know how much the quarterbacks are worth. So I'm kind of shocked about that. But you know what? They decided on it. They made that trade. And so we accept it. But that meant that the waiver wire was a little hot this week. Maybe not as prolific, but we did have a couple of different ones. I added, or I should say I tried to add, Mark Ingram. I put a bid in, but I have no money. So Magic School Bus got him for $21. Good job by you, Dylan. Marcus Johnson took out Le'Veon Bell, sorry. Good move because he got cut just like a couple days later or that day. And then Deontay Foreman and Carlos Hyde. So some big moves by Robert to try to get his bench ready to go for the playoffs because he's looking really good there. But, overall, it is a big week. So let's talk about my opponent, the number 1 seed. It's not getting any easier for me. But Kyle. Kyle's team has been doing well, and that's because of the quarterbacks. He gets Joe Burrow back this week, so that's going to help. Barkley is back. How much they use him, I hope not a lot. A.J. Dillon, huge now pickup because with Aaron Jones hurt, he's going to have a much bigger role, so that makes me feel better. Pollard's in. Yeah, he's had some decent games. Godwin's been like the number 2, number 3 receiver over the past couple weeks. Debo, hey, at least I have Garoppolo, but Debo has been a monster. Jamar Chase has been a monster. And then, of course, he's got Kelsey and Suckup. So that is a tough one to swallow this week. I don't see me winning this week. I need a win, but it's going to be really hard. I think they'd be killing Trevor Siemian. Trevor Siemian's put up 20 points each week, and they only put him for 11. Okay, but Garoppolo with 20 against Jacksonville, possibly. Davis, actually, again, another low one. We have heard that Patterson might not play. That's going to be huge. Davis will be the lead back, so maybe he gets a bit more of the big touches. Taylor, having monster games, is only at 14. Again, averaging 25 to 35 the last 2 games. Don't understand that, even if it's Buffalo. Johnson, D'Ernest might be the starter again. He had 25 points last week when he was starting against Detroit. I really like that if he's the number 1. Allen Robinson is back after a good week 2 weeks ago. I'm excited against Baltimore. They're going to have to throw. Lockett had a disappointing week because Russell Wilson did. Glad I got rid of him. But Lockett, I think, is going to have a monster week with Devontae Smith. Hopefully, maybe that connection is finally there between him and Jalen Hurts. And then finally, if Freemuth doesn't, fumble the last down, maybe the game's not even close between me and D Haas, but then I've got the number 1 offense again in Butker. So if Kelsey scores, I get some points too. Not as many. But we are looking for an impressive week, and I'm a little worried, but you know what? It's going to be fun either way. What? Have fun? What am I talking about? No. I'm winning this week. This hype train is not going to be stopped. And I'm taking you out, Kyle. You know what? It's getting close to the stroke of